السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله تعالى من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. وبعد، inshallah we're going to continue with الأربعين نووية, the Nawawi 40 hadith, and we'll start the hadith number 7 today inshallah, and inshallah we'll finish it. Just before we continue, there were just 3 matters from last time I wanted to elaborate on or just mention them again. Sorry brothers, when there are some out of topic questions in the middle of the speech, sometimes makes me forget what I wanted to say. So if you have a question, please postpone it. If it's not in something that I'm saying right now, please postpone it to after we finish. If something in what I'm saying, please ask. So last time I mentioned that it's always recommended to avoid the matters that are disputed, as long as this doesn't contradict with Sunnah. When Sunnah is clear, we just follow Sunnah. In matters that we don't know, that there are different opinions for the scholars, and you can avoid it, you should do something desirable and recommended. However, there are some matters that you cannot do that. Some certain matters, the dispute or the different opinions are totally opposing. So in this case, you need to follow what you think is right. As an example for this, what would happen if the Imam is praying behind the Imam and the Imam stands for the 5th rak'ah? Are you going to follow him, or are you going not to follow him, just wait till he finishes this rak'ah and not count it? Some scholars say if you follow him, you invalidate your salah. Some scholars say if you don't follow him, you invalidate your salah. So there is no way out. Similarly,
but you need to say subhanallah,
to
right?
to remind him. But if he didn't remind and he continued, and you know that this is his 5th, what are you going to do?
You will follow him, because this
Are you going to follow him? And the other hadith, إِنَّمَا الطَّاعَةُ فِي الْمَعْرُوفِ, you follow him in what you know that is right, or what you don't know that's wrong. Now you're sure that he's wrong. Are you going to follow him, or separate from him? 2 opinions. I'm not going to tell you what I choose. You have the fiqh, inshallah. Sheikh Munir will help you, inshallah. This is another thing, another matter. Reading Fatiha when you're praying with the Imam. Those who say it's mandatory, and those others say, no, if you're praying behind the Imam, listen to what he's reciting. You're not allowed to say anything when he's reading. So you cannot read and say, no, I'm getting out of this. No. The time you're reading, it's either this opinion or that opinion. You cannot take both. Another example, and this might be a little bit, I'm going to say it anyway. When does the Asr prayer start? You know that there is different opinions about this. The majority say that, how do you know when the prayer times come? If you have like a column and there is shadow for this column, so the sun starts rising and there is a shadow, and this shadow, the more the sun rises, the shadow gets shorter till it reaches a certain amount, then it stops. Once it starts moving to the opposite side, then this is the start of Dhuhr Salah. Till when does the Asr becomes due? Does it become due when the length of the shadow is the same the length of the column? And this is the opinion of the majority of scholars. Or does it start when the height of the shadow becomes double the height of the column, which is the opinion of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah? Take care. You might think if we pray late, We fulfilled both opinions, right? Yes, but for those who say it starts when it's only the same height, now in the disliked time, now in waqt qaraha. You should, they say, tell you, yes, it's still Asr time, but you shouldn't delay it to this time without a reason. Another example. When does Ramadan start? Does seeing the Hilal in one place makes it Ramadan in the whole world? Or every place has its own ru'yah? This is another dispute. You cannot get out of it. So this means that you need to have a certain amount of knowledge to know what you're doing and to know what kind of dispute is avoidable and what is not. This number one. Number two, remember this is a topic we ended, switching gears to the next matter. Now you know when we said that ألا إن في الجسد مضغة إذا صلحت صلح الجسد كله وإذا فسدت فسد الجسد كله ألا وهي القلب. Indeed, there is a morsel of flesh. In the body, there is a morsel of flesh. If it's sound, the whole body is sound. And if it's corrupt, the whole body is corrupt. Now you know that Now you know that there isn't something like non-practice Muslim. This is not a thing. You're either a Muslim. If you're a Muslim, you'll do something. You'll do anything. You'll do the least amount at least. But nothing, zero. This means that there is zero inside. There is no iman. It's gone. So zero is zero. And as we said, the amount that you do with your limbs, the amount that you actually appears on you, is a reflection of what's in your heart. So if it's zero, it's zero. The third thing about the previous hadith also is that the scholars say if something this will not be very clear, so those are enough. Those I wanted to say that there are some kind of methods that you cannot avoid the dispute in, and then you need to follow what you think is right. If the person is able to do ijtihad, then he does ijtihad. If not, he follows what he thinks, or the person or the scholar who he thinks is telling him, or his opinion is closer to the correct answer. Yes?
For Asr Salah, so if you follow Abu Hanifa, but your local masjid doesn't follow,
Yeah.
so you can just follow the local masjid. Is that correct?
You can follow the local masjid, yes. Still, what I'm telling you is that you're still praying in time. Okay? Yes. But you're not avoiding, you cannot avoid praying in the disliked time. Of course, if you're going to catch the jama'ah in that time, okay, yeah. Join the jama'ah.
I just want to elaborate what the brother asked you. So if he comes to a masjid, let's say Abu Hanifa, the shadow goes double to
Yeah.
whatever the object is.
Yeah.
But if he comes to a masjid, he has to band with whatever the masjid time they have. Because this brother, I tell you this from the experience, it caused us a lot of problems.
Mm-hmm.
Some people they check asna timetable, especially in Asr.
Yeah.
And we have it from a Muslim committee.
Yeah.
They've done this
Calendars, yeah.
the timetable. But we had brothers coming here and was screaming and was saying bad things about just the Asr time. How come you have it at 6:30 and somebody else, like they mentioned,
Yeah, 4:30,
4:45 or
yeah.
something. So you have to, brother, because this is gonna cause fitna. So the best thing you need to follow
Yeah.
the masjid.
Yeah, so in short, if you're praying by yourself, do what you think is right. If there is an imam, when we call the imam al-ratib, the imam that assigned to be the imam for this masjid, then follow the imam.
But this is another problem, because some people, brother, they come in because they have their own time.
Mhm.
So even there is a brothers that are waiting for the iqamah. They come in and they perform salah by themselves, and this is another problem.
No, if there is an assigned imam for the masjid, they are not allowed to pray before
Not
him.
imam, but even like let's say the group of people that are waiting for salah. Some people they have their own timetable, whatever. They come in and they pray by themselves. And this is what I'm talking about.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So I know it can happen. It needs some wisdom, when dealing with this. I know sometimes people get excited or think that they're doing the right thing, and we need to be, it needs a lot of wisdom to how to talk with this. I know sometimes it's not someone's coming and causing problems and just disturbing everything. So so you need to have the wisdom in dealing with those guys and just calm them down. And then what the message is and what the maybe the leading committee of the masjid or the steering committee, they agree to something and they follow it. Then this is the system of this masjid.
Exactly.
If you want to pray alone, but don't come in in the front and make a public iqama and then start your own salah. This is not right.
Also, this is a fitna too, bro.
Yeah.
Because the group guys, they get together and they pray themselves, and then the another group is praying. This is a problem. I mean, if you want to pray, you pray outside.
Yeah.
Because here's gonna cause a problem.
Yeah.
If everybody starts making groups,
No.
that
No.
means we're
No.
gonna run into a lot of issues here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If there is an imam and like an assigned timetable for this masjid, then this should be followed. If you want, if a person or two come and want to pray, okay, it's good. They can pray out the side. But what I'm saying is that they don't announce that this is a prayer. Now we're praying.
Exactly.
But if they want to pray, obviously they can pray.
Jazakallah.
Okay, so the seventh hadith, we're going to start with it, inshallah. عن أبي رقية تميم بن أوس الداري رضي الله عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: الدين النصيحة. قلنا لمن؟ قال: لله ولكتابه ولرسوله ولأئمة المسلمين وعامتهم. وفي بعض الروايات أنه قال: الدين النصيحة، الدين النصيحة، الدين النصيحة، قال 3 مرات. So on the authority of Abu Ruqayyah, Tamim ibn Aws al-Dari, radiallahu anhu, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, religion is sincerity. We said, to whom? He said, to Allah and to His book, to His messenger, and to the leaders of Muslims and their common people. This is narrated by Imam Muslim. So this is an authentic hadith, narrated by Imam Muslim. Imam Bukhari didn't narrate this hadith, but it's still an authentic hadith. And it was narrated on the authority of other companions like Ibn Umar, like Ibn Abbas, and so on. So, starting with the Sahabi who reported the hadith, we want to talk about Tamim al-Dari, radiallahu anhu. He is Tamim ibn Aws al-Dari, and he came to Medina on the 9th year and announced Islam. He embraced Islam on the 9th year. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there's a virtue of Tamim that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam narrated his story on the minbar. He called the people for salah and told them, narrated what Tamim told him about the story with the Jassasa and the Dajjal, the Antichrist. And Tamim radiallahu anhu reported some hadith, and he was a worshipper, and he used to read the Quran out. He said the Qari' al-Quran. He used to read Quran a lot, and he used to finish Quran every 7 days. He lived in Medina till Osman radiallahu anhu was killed. Amir al-Mu'mineen Osman radiallahu anhu was killed. Then he left to Sham and lived there till he died in the year 40 in Palestine. This is Tamim ibn Aws al-Dari radiallahu anhu. When we finish the hadith, inshallah, we can mention the hadith al-Jassasa, since this hadith is very exciting. It has a lot of knowledge, and this is something that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam narrated about one of the Sahaba, and he announced it to the whole. He called people actually to come to listen to what he's saying. So you can see that when in the translation we mentioned an-nasiha as sincerity, and this is not totally accurate, but this is the best we can do, because even in Arabic there is no word equal to nasiha. There is no, the same, the meaning is there, but you cannot express it by one word. So the nasiha is a broad concept, which means wanting and doing what is good for the person you extend nasiha to. The origin of this word of nasaha revolves around purity. When you make something pure, and when two things are suitable for each other and complete each other, this is what nasiha, orbits around. It's around this meaning. To give an example, to elaborate this more, in Surah At-Tawbah, ليس على الضعفاء ولا على المرضى ولا على الذين لا يجدون ما ينفقون حرج إذا نصحوا لله ولرسوله ما على المحسنين من سبيل والله غفور رحيم. There is no blame on the weak, nor the sick ones, nor those who find nothing to spend, provided that they are true or that they are sincere or that they do nasiha to Allah and His Messenger. In no way the ones who excel in doing good be blamed, and Allah the most forgiving and most merciful. This happened when in Ghazwat Tabuk, when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ordered the Muslims to go, okay, now we have to join the army. We're going to fight the Rome, the Byzantines. You have to join the army. We're going to Tabuk midsummer, when the hottest days of the year. We're going to walk in the desert, over 1,000 kilometers to face those. And you're going to face not a small tribe, you're going to face the Roman Empire, the Eastern Roman Empire. So everyone is tasked to join the army. No excuses. Or not no excuses. Join the army. That's it. Of course, some of the munafiqeen, some of the hypocrites, started, making some excuses. Oh, I can't go there. Oh, I can't, control myself over, those European girls, and so on. Then there were those true believers who actually were sick, or they're very poor. They cannot find enough money to walk this 1,000 kilometers, or that they are really physically very weak. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revelated their excuse, but on one condition: إِذَا نَصَحُوا لِلَّهِ وَلِرَسُولِهِ. If they are sincere, or if they do nasiha to Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What does this mean? This means that they are sincere in their obedience. They really want to join in this battle, but they can't. They truly can't. And when they're back in Medina, when they're staying in Medina, they're not spreading rumors. They're not thinking, oh, now maybe the army now is just totally vanished. The Romans just, erased them from no, they're not saying that. They're actually making dua for their brothers. They're wishing that you could join them. And they're looking after the dependents of those who went for jihad. So they know that this person who went has a son. This son needs some help in his work, needs some help in his chores, whatever. And taking care of those people, those women and children that were left behind when those mujahideen left. They're taking care of them, they're supporting them. They're not even what the properties of those who left, they're just preserving this. They're not taking this as a chance to take whatever they can, to seduce whoever they can seduce. No, they're actually safeguarding them. So this is nasiha here. They didn't join while they wanted to join. They really wanted to join. They really believe what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Rasulullah said. But they truly can't. And when they can't, okay, good that we have no excuse. No, they are really sad that they couldn't join. And they're doing all they can do, like spreading the good news, avoiding rumors, safeguarding the people who are still in the Medina, making dua, things like this. So this shows what nasiha is. Then when we say religion is sincerity or ad-dinu nasiha, this has two explanations. The first one is that this emphasizes the importance of nasiha in religion. Like when we say al-hajj arafah, in hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, al-hajj arafah, the pilgrimage is arafah. Pilgrimage is arafah and other things. But arafah is the core. If you lose arafah, you lose the whole pilgrimage. If you miss arafah, there is no pilgrimage. Similarly, This emphasizes that nasiha or sincerity is a core value and most important value in the religion, and it affects or includes most of the religion. This is one explanation. The other thing that it's actually that the nasiha, everything in the religion is nasiha, because any action or worship that is done without sincerity is not from the religion. It's not valid, so it's not from the religion. On both explanations, they show the importance of nasiha in religion. So, what does nasiha for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala include? So, nasiha for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala includes belief in His existence and His tawheed, in monotheism. And there is nothing or nobody like Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. No associates, no partners. Also, sincerely worshipping Him alone and ascribing to Him only the attributes of perfection and majesty, and exalting Him from all the opposite of that. Also, submitting for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, al-istislamu lillah azza wa jal, and following His orders and avoiding what He forbade subhanahu wa ta'ala, loving and hating for His sake, believing in His qadr and His wisdom, not thinking bad about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wal'adhu billah, dhann al-jahiliyyah, what those who don't believe think about Allah azza wa jal. Another thing is making da'wah and calling people for this religion and to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and opposing, resisting, fighting when needed those who oppose Him subhanahu wa ta'ala and want to get rid of this religion and oppose this religion. You don't stand still. No, you oppose Him. You resist them. That means you can. Then comes nasiha to the Quran, nasiha to the book. First thing is believing that this Quran is Allah's words. The letters, the meanings, those are all Allah's words subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke with it and revealed it to spoke with it, and Jibreel received it from Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then Jibreel alayhi salam descended with the Quran on the Prophet's heart sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Another thing, loving and exalting the Quran and believing what is mentioned in the Quran. What is mentioned is the truth. It's not maybe, no, this is the truth. This is the complete truth. If you don't understand something, this is the problem with you. You don't have, sometimes there are some ayahs in Quran that you can read and you may not totally understand. Know that this is the truth and believe that this is actually the truth. If you don't have enough knowledge, this is another thing. Also, following the Quran orders and instructions and avoiding what Quran forbids and prohibits. Now, this is a book of guidance telling you do and don't. Follow this. This is from the nasiha del Quran. Also believing that the Quran rulings and teachings are the best rulings. There are no other rulings that might be equal or better. There is nothing like that. Another thing, learning the Quran, how to read Quran, what are the meanings of Quran, what are the teachings and rulings of Quran, to follow them. Lastly, or from what we mentioned, defending the Quran against those who oppose it or those who attack it, against the extremist distortions and the attack and contestations of the atheists. Defend the Quran. Learn the Quran and you can defend the Quran. Then we go to nasiha to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We mentioned a lot of his rights back in the second hadith, but we're going to make a summary or just quickly. First, believing, loving, honoring, and exalting him sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Believing him in all what he said, and following and obeying him in what he ordered us, and in what he prohibited us or forbade us from. To embrace his sunnah, learn it, know what his sunnah is, promote it, teach it, act upon it, defend it. Also, to be an enemy to whoever bears enmity to him ﷺ, or his sunnah, and to have allegiance and love to those who have allegiance and love him ﷺ and his sunnah. Love his companions and his family, Muslim family of course. Don't love those were the nearest or the closest people to the Prophet ﷺ. We actually loved, and those Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose for them to be with the Prophet ﷺ and help him and support him. Then comes the nasiha to the Muslim leaders. And when we mention leaders, there are two types of leaders. Let's say the political leaders or rulers, and the lordly scholars, the ulama al-rabbaniyun. Those who are what is meant by leaders. And I know no matter what I said about these leaders, someone would not like what I say. But I'm going to say what I think, inshallah, is correct. When we say political leaders or Muslim leaders, like rulers, we mean those who rule by, execute, enforce the rulings of Quran and Sunnah. Not anyone who just names himself, I'm a ruler, and he's actually doing everything opposite to that. Those who are actually embracing Quran and Sunnah and following them, this doesn't mean that they don't have mistakes, that they don't have deviations, no. But at the end of the day, they are still under this umbrella of Quran and Sunnah. You need to aid them and assist them in the way of the truth. You need to obey them unless it is a sin. So there is no obedience for anyone in sin at all, no matter who he is. If it's something opposing to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Rasul said, if it's sin, there is no obedience to anyone. Not your father, not your mother, not your ruler, not anyone. And to bring to their attention the shortcomings, gently, with respect, avoid this, what you call it, not harshness and scandals and stuff like that. This is not the way. Yeah, I know that it's like a common, like common culture that that you should go on and make the scandals and stuff. This is not actually right. There must be a way to make amends. There must be a way to extend this nasiha, to tackle these shortcomings. But sometimes it's what appears to be appealing, it's not always the right thing to do. Finally, if this is actually a person who is embracing or enforcing Quran and Sunnah, pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant them the success and wisdom and keep them on the correct way. It happened with me. Sometimes I was in some place and I hear the Imam in Khutbatul Jama'ah, he starts making dua for whoever the leader was and grant him, and I said, why? This guy is the worst person I've ever seen. Why are you doing this? And then it came to myself, let's say that he's the worst person. And Allah Mustaan, if making good dua for him, and he might be turned good, well, who knows? You never know. This doesn't mean that those who are actually criminals and actually, doing everything to suppress Muslims under whatever they call this. We're not talking about those here. We're not talking about those criminals. Okay, what about the scholars, al-ulama al-rabbaniyun? Also, similarly here, when we talk about scholars, and this actually every time I talk about scholars, we mean the pious ones, we mean the real scholars, the al-ulama al-rabbaniyun, those who inherited the Prophet ﷺ knowledge, worship, manners, and way of teaching. Those are who we mean when say scholars. Not the human devils, not shayateen al-ins, who just use their knowledge to mislead people. No, we don't mean those people at all. Those are the worst people. Those who are just mislead people when they know the truth and they still choose their dunya over what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has. So for those scholars, when you're saying the heirs of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ulama warathatul anbiya, we need to love them and learn from them. We need to help them in delivering the truth. We need to share and promote their knowledge. We need to share and publicize their virtues. We need to think well of them and give them their excuse. Sometimes they do something or choose an opinion. You might not totally understand why did they do that. Just give them their excuse. They might do something wrong. They might choose a wrong opinion. It will happen. It will happen. But give them their excuse. Know that most probably they did this with good intention, and they either didn't know or didn't mean to do something wrong. So give them their excuse. Those people who we know and we have seen them that, and it's most probably, and what we see, they are pious people. They are good people. Don't think that they just go, oppose what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Rasul say and Rasulullah say just because they want to. No. Give them their excuse. Know that they put a huge amount of effort to choose or to give this opinion or to give you this fatwa. And it's not an easy for them. Just to know this, I remember one of the mashayikh, Hafidhahullah Ta'ala, who said that when you do fatwa, you should, think of yourself standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and is asking you, why did you say this? When this person came and asked you, and you told him this is halal or this is haram, what is your answer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So think of them. Don't think that will just say whatever they want and whatever they like people to do, and they're just forgetting about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No, there are signs that they're not this way. So if there is one of them who's actually living and and you see him saying or giving an opinion that you think that's not right, talk with him, discuss with him, ask him to explain for you, instead of attacking him and just going everywhere. Oh, this guy is saying so and so. I've seen people just blaming or just saying that those are bad, or this scholar is bad because he said something that is normally known, and the other guy didn't know about it. He didn't know that the result, that the majority of scholars say that, and he thought that no, he's not following the sunnah. He's intentionally not following the sunnah. No, you don't know. You are ignorant. It's not him. It's you. So if you think that he's saying something that is not correct, or that is not following sunnah, ask and discuss. He'll tell you. Most probably he'll tell you. Especially if you go on impolitely. Sometimes this might happen. If you're qualified enough, he should tell you and explain for you. Sometimes you say, I can explain for you, but you might not understand. And this might happen. The last thing, guide them, those scholars, and tell them to what is good to be discussed, what people need to know about. Sometimes the scholars, this is actually something common. Scholars are totally submerged in the reading and their studying and then maybe in their lives, and they don't know much about what's happening. This is the case with a lot of scholars. And they don't know what the people are missing. They think what they know as common knowledge, everyone knows. Sometimes this is not the case. So tell them, no, people need to know about this, need to know about that. People are confused about this thing or about that matter. Let them explain for people. Guide them, actually help them with choosing what topics needs to be discussed. Tell them about that. Tell them that I've seen people giving, majalis for 3 or 4 hours. This happens. Okay? And it might be fine with the people attending with him, with this person. It might be fine, and they're willing to do it. I myself saw a majlis about 7 hours. It was good, and people wanted it, but this will not be the case for normal people. Most of the people will not like that. Would like half an hour, 40 minutes, 1 hour, hour and a half maximum. If it's 2 hours every 2 weeks, this is a long lecture. So sometimes you tell them, okay, Sheikh, Jazakallah khairan, you're saying very important information, but this majlis was too long. People got bored. So these are kinds of nasiha you need to extend to scholars. So what about the Muslim public, the common Muslims? So first of all, to guide them to what benefits them and teach them the knowledge, the religious knowledge and the worldly matters knowledge. Help them, give them the knowledge you have, guide them to what benefit them. Conceal their faults and shortcomings. Don't go on scandalizing everyone and just exposing him. Aiding them against one who bears enmity toward them and unjustly defend them against their enemies and those who are unjust to them. Avoid lying to them or deceiving them. Avoid having any envy or cheat anyone. Love them, to love for them what you love for yourself, and dislike for them what you dislike for yourself. Seek to keep all harm and unpleasantness away from them. Help the poor, give the poor, teach the ignorant. Rectify one who strays from the truth, whether it's in word or deed. Help them. Make nasiha to them. Be deen. When we said that nasiha, two things are suitable to each other and complete each other and help each other. This is the relation between the other Muslims. Have this connection, have this good relations. Help them with all you can. This might affect your own benefit, but the true nasiha that you'll help them even if it affects you.
Being kind to others, helping this woman على الداعة.
I can't hear.
Like you said, be kind to others, right? Help.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
ومن أعلى الداعة. This one of the biggest da'ah.
I can't hear the last word.
ومن أعظم الداعة.
ومن أعظم الطاعات. Yeah. بارك الله فيك. Okay. Also from the nasiha to Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, من نصيحة لله ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم, and this is done by the scholars, and this is part of their duty to reject the misleading whims by Quran and Sunnah and demonstrate how Quran and Sunnah guides to the opposite of those whims and refute those whims. This is number one. And rebuting or rebuffing the weak opinions and the mistakes of scholars. As we said, being a scholar, being pious, we respect them, we put them in a high place, but at the end of the day, they're people, they're human, and they will make mistakes. I'm not saying mistake that he's going to kill someone, that he's going to steal from. No, I'm saying that he might adopt a wrong opinion. He might say something that's not very correct, and this is our part or the duty of the scholars to show this and explain this, to say that this opinion was said, and this Imam said this opinion, and we respect this Imam, and we love him, and we know that we think good of him, and we know that he did this in good intention, but this opinion or this what he said is wrong, and it's wrong because of 1, 2, 3, 4 from Quran and Sunnah. Also, from the duties of the scholars in making nasiha for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is clarifying what is acceptable and what is not acceptable from the narrated hadith, what is authentic and what is not authentic. And I said here acceptable and not acceptable, because acceptable is a little bit bigger than authentic, because you have the authentic, you have the Hasan hadith, and so on. And revealing the status of the narrators, those who narrated the hadith. What are their status? Is this one, can we depend on this narrator or not? This is a dependable narrator. We know that this person is honest, and his memory is very strong, and he actually delivers what he heard very accurately. But in this specific location, he made a mistake. This, scholars study this and find this and say this. Why? Out of nasiha lillah wa rasulih sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because it will end either you just, don't mention this mistake for this person, or there is something that is considered sunnah and it's not. No, protect the sunnah first, right? Also, one of the greatest form of nasiha is to be sincere to the one who sought your advice. One comes to you asking for advice about any matter, then you should give him sincere advice. Tell him what you actually think would be good for him, and what would suit him, and what will have a good impact on him. Just don't send him anything and let him go. No. Be sincere, be honest in what you give him true advice. This is nasiha. Like in the hadith, where إذا استنصح أحدكم أخاه فلينصح له. When a brother of any one of you seeks the advice from him, then he shall completely be sincere to him. This is narrated by Imam Ahmad rahimahullah ta'ala. When the first generation, the Salaf, wanted to advise someone, they used to do it privately. If I find that this person is doing something and I want to advise him, I should talk with him, come, okay brother, can I have a word with you? With this and that, and I don't think this was the right choice, and maybe you should check this and think about this and reflect on this, and I think this would be better for you, and so on. They used to do it privately, and some of them said, whoever advises his brother just between two of them, this is sincerity, this is nasiha. And whoever advises him in front of the others has only rebuked him. Right? It's just, just scandalizing him, it's just exposing him. That's why Fudail ibn Iyad rahimahullah said, a believer conceals and advises, and the corrupt one exposes and scandalizes. And Abdul Aziz ibn Abi Ruwad rahimahullah ta'ala said, the people who came before you, the Salaf, when they saw something bad from their brothers, they used to command him with compassion, so they were rewarded for ordering and prohibiting. When they do Amr Ma'ruf and Nahy Anil Munkar, they were rewarded. But these people, he was talking about the people at his time, tear into their brothers only to make him angry and expose his secrets. This is not the way. Okay? That's why Imam Ibn Rajab rahimahullah ta'ala actually has a booklet for the difference between nasiha and exposing, and ta'ir, blaming or scandalizing. So this is what is related to this hadith. I don't know how long is it now. Almost 50 minutes. So there are two things that I wanted to do. I wanted to mention the hadith of Al-Jassasa, because as I told you, it has a lot of knowledge. And another thing, and it's not directly related to the hadith, I wanted to mention some ruling and etiquette pertaining to the Quran and to the Masahif. Maybe you can do this next time, and I don't know, do you want to hear the hadith of Jassasa or want to postpone it?
This is number 7. Number 8, the next one.
Next one is number 8, inshallah.
Are you asking if you can
No,
do it
no.
now?
Number 8 will be next time. I'm asking about this hadith of Jassasa. I remember when he said that Tamim al-Dari, radiallahu anhu, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam narrated hadith al-Jassasa about him. Do you want to mention this now, or is it enough for you, 50 minutes?
Go ahead.
Yeah, we can do it.
Okay, inshallah will not be more than 10 minutes. It's a short hadith, 2 or 3 pages, no, 2 pages. Yeah, 2 pages on. So actually it's a long hadith. So this was related by, was narrated by Imam Muslim rahimahullah ta'ala. and it was related by Amir al-Sha'bi, one of the tabi'een. He said, Amir al-Sha'bi said, Amir asked Fatima bint Qais. Fatima bint Qais was the sister of the Haq ibn Qais, and Amir al-Sha'bi said that Fatima was among the first women of the immigrants. The early immigrants from Mecca was Fatima bint Qais. So I asked her to relate a hadith to me which she had heard directly from the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, without having been conveyed through a third party. Something that she heard directly from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not from another Sahabi. So she said, if you please, I will do. He said to her, please do and relate it to me. Please tell me, relate this to me. So Fatima said, I married the son of Mughira, and he was one of the best young men of Quraysh at that time. But he fell as a martyr in the first jihad. At the early stage of jihad, he died. So when I became a widow, Abdurrahman ibn Auf and other companions of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent me proposals for marriage. Then the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam also sent me a similar proposal for marriage for his freed slave. You know, Zayd ibn Thabit? He wanted her to marry Zayd. And she said, Fatima said, I had been informed that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had said of him, whoever loves me should also love Osama ibn Zayd. So when the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam spoke to me about it, I said, the matter is in your hands. She told the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the matter is in your hands. You may give me in marriage to whoever you please. So the Prophet ﷺ said, now you should go to stay with Sharik. Sharik was a wealthy lady from Ansar. She used to expend generously in the cause of Allah and was very hospitable to guests. So she said, Fatima, I shall do as you please. Okay, I'll go stay at Sharik. Then he said, do not go to Sharik. Do not do so. Because Sharik is a woman who has many guests. And I would not wish for your head cover to fall. The Prophet is telling Fatima, I do not wish for your head cover to fall, or your dress gets uncovered over your leg, and someone sees something you don't like them to see. So you better go to stay with your cousin Abdullah ibn Amr ibn Maktoum, meaning in his dar, in his, not apartment. And this is the dar which, like a group of houses, like a big, what do you call the dar in English? It's not one small house. No, it's like when you have this big place when there is something like an empty space in the middle, and then a lot of.
What kind of place?
I'm telling because the Prophet ﷺ told her go to stay at the dar of Abdullah ibn Maktoum. She's not staying with him in the same apartment. The dar is something like a resident, where they have a lot of apartments or something like that. Like there's an empty space in the middle and then a lot of rooms and something like that. So, and he told her to go to Abdullah ibn Maktoum because Abdullah ibn Maktoum was a blind person, radiallahu anhu. So she can have her freedom. She's not worried that, the scarf fell off my head, my leg got swollen. No. So, she said then, so I moved there. She moved to Abdullah ibn Maktoum's dar. And she said when my requisite period of waiting was over, when some woman has her husband die, she waits for 4 months and 10 days before she can marry again. She said when the period of waiting was over, I heard the voice of a caller calling for prayer in the mosque. So I set off for the mosque and offered prayer with the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I was in the row of the women near the row of men. The first row of women, she was in the first row of women, just behind the rows of men. When the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had completed his prayer, he sat on the minbar, smiling, and said, everyone should stay in his place, in the place where he had prayed. Then he said, do you know why I asked you to congregate? They said, Allah and His Messenger know best. He said, by Allah, I did not ask you to gather here to exhort you or to warn you. I have kept you here because Tamim al-Dari was a Christian, came and embraced Islam. And he told me something which corresponds with what I told you about the Antichrist at Dajjal. He told me that he set sail in a sea ship with 30 men of Bani Lakhm and Bani Judam. Some tribes, there were 30 men on this ship. He told me that he said, and it had been tossed by waves in the sea for a month. A month, they were just tossed by the waves. They don't know where they went. Then they were carried near the land in the sea at the time of sunset. Near sunset, they were carried beside the land. So they got in the small rowing boats and put ashore on the island. There they saw a beast with such a long, thick hair that they couldn't make out its face from its mind. They cannot know where is the front and where is the back of this thing. They said, "Woe to you, who are you?" It said, "I am Al-Jassasa." They said, "What is the Jassasa?" It said, "O people, go to the man in the monastery as he's eagerly waiting for you." Then it named for them a man. They feared it. They thought it was a devil. So they hurried, they just ran to this monastery. And they found a well-built man. This man was well-built, and his hands tied to his neck, and iron shackles up to his ankle. The iron shackles on his ankle, on his leg, and then his hands up tied to his neck. We said, "Woe to you, who are you?" He said, "You will soon know to come about me." There is no place for him to go. I'm here in front of you. You can know am I. But tell me first about yourself. Tell me who you are. So they said, "We are from Arabia, and we set sail in a boat, but the waves carried us for 1 month and brought us near the island. So we took the rowing boats and came ashore to the island. Then a beast with a bushy hair met us, and its hair was so thick we couldn't make out its front or its back. We said to it, 'Woe to you, who are you?' It said, 'I'm Al-Jassasa.' We said, 'What Al-Jassasa?' It said, 'Go to a man in the monastery, he's eagerly waiting for you.' So we came to in a hurriedly, fearing that it might be a devil. He said, 'Tell me about the date palm trees of Baisan.'" There are, the palm tree, the date palm tree. So it told him, "What do you wish to know about them?" He said, "I wish to know if they still bear fruit. Do they bear fruit or not?" We said, "Yes, they bear fruit." He said, "It's about to stop bearing fruit." He said, "Tell me about Lake Tiberias." We said, "What do you know? What do you wish to know about it?" He said, "Is there water in it?" They said, "Yes, there is plenty of water in it." He said, "It will soon be dry." Then he said, "Tell me about the spring of Zogar, Ain Zogar." They said, "What do you wish to know about it?" Those are places and lakes in Sham. He said, "Tell me about Ain Zogar, the spring of Zogar." They told him, "What do you want to know? What do you wish to know about it?" He said, "Is there water in it? And does it provide irrigation? Do people make irrigation out of it?" We said, "Yes, there is plenty of water in it, and the inhabitants irrigate by means of it." He said, "Tell me about the unlettered people. Tell me about the unlettered people's prophet, Nabi al-Ummiyin. What has he done?" We said, "He has left Mecca and settled in Medina." He said, "Are the Arabs fighting him or fighting against him?" We said, "Yes." He said, "How did he deal with them?" He said, they told him that he had defeated those who are in the vicinity, and those in the vicinity pledged allegiance to him. They followed him. Then he said, "Has it already happened?" We said, "Yes." Then he said, "It's better for them that they pledge allegiance to him, or it's better for them to obey him." Now he's saying, "I will tell you about myself. I am the Antichrist, and al-Masih al-Dajjal. And soon I shall be allowed to leave this place. Then I shall leave and travel about the land, and shall not leave any town without entering it for 40 nights, except Mecca and Taibah, as these two are forbidden to me. And every time I attempt to enter either of them, an angel bearing a sword in his hand will confront me and prevent me, and there will be angels to guard every road leading to them." Then the Messenger of Allah struck the pulpit or struck the member with his stick, like, and said, "This is Taiba, this is Taiba, this is Taiba," meaning the Medina. This is Taiba. "Haven't I told you of this?" The Prophet ﷺ asking the Sahaba. The people said yes. So he ﷺ said, "I liked what Tamim al-Dari related as it correlates with what I told you about him and Mecca and Medina." What the Prophet said, it correlates with what I told you about him. Him means the Dajjal, and Mecca and Medina. "Indeed, the Antichrist in the Mediterranean Sea or the Arabian Sea? No, he is from the east. He is from the east. He is from the east." And Fatima said, I memorized this from the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So this is the hadith that was narrated by Imam Muslim, and the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, as you can see, mentioned it on the minbar, and he narrated it on the authority of Tamim radiallahu anhu, and it's a big virtue for Tamim radiallahu anhu. وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. الحمد لله رب العالمين.